The Bill of Rights is made up of the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, written by James Madison because several states wanted more constitutional protections and individual liberties. The Bill of Rights lists specific prohibitions on government power, and one of the many points of contention between Federalists and Anti-Federalists was the Constitution's lack of a Bill of Rights that would place specific limits on government power. Federalists argued that the Constitution did not need a Bill of Rights because the people in the states kept any powers not given to the federal government. Anti-Federalists believed that a Bill of Rights was necessary to safeguard individual liberty. Madison, then a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, went through the Constitution himself, making changes where he thought were most appropriate. But several representatives, led by Roger Sherman, objected that Congress had no authority to change the wording of the Constitution itself. Therefore, Madison's changes were presented as a list of amendments that would follow Article 7. The House of Representatives approved 17 amendments. Of the 17, the Senate approved 12. Those 12 were sent to the states for approval. And in August of 1789, of those 12, 10 were quickly approved or ratified. And Virginia's legislature became the last to ratify the amendments on December 15th, 1791. The Bill of Rights was inspired by many English documents such as the Magna Carta, the Petition of Rights, the English Bill of Rights, and the Massachusetts Body of Liberties. So the amendments are kind of confusing to get for people who aren't very into law, I suppose, and I'll just kind of translate them. Amendment 1 says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment or religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the land or naval forces, or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That's kind of saying that they're just detailing more on the freedom of religion, freedom of press, and freedom of expression that were previously mentioned in the Constitution. Amendment 2 says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed upon. That's saying that you have a right to keep a weapon and use it to protect yourself, no matter what. And Amendment 3 states that no soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. That's referring to the Early Quartering Act, and kind of with a whole summary stating that soldiers cannot take or live in a person's house without the owner's consent. Amendment 4 says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. This is stating that a person or their property cannot be searched unless there is a probable cause that a crime has been committed. On to Amendment 5. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal cases to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. This is detailing the due process of law before punishing a person and the right to a trial by jury, as mentioned in the Constitution before. Amendment 5. Amendment 6 says, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. This is talking about the right to a fair trial and covering the subject of witnesses and how that would work. Amendment 7 says, it suits at common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. The Seventh Amendment of the Bill of Rights details the trial by jury in civil cases and the rights of those being sued. Amendment 8 states that excessive bail shall not be required, no excessive fines imposed, and nor cruel or unusual punishments inflicted. This is stating the limitations on imposing excessive bail, excessive fines, and any cruel or unusual punishments. 8 says, or 9. 9 says, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. The Amendment of the Bill of Rights is basically saying that the Constitution of America does not include all rights of the people in the states. So they're giving some flexibility for the government, basically. Amendment 10 says the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. They are saying that the Constitution does not give power to the U.S. government. Well, if the Constitution does not give certain powers to the U.S. government, they belong to the individual states and the individual people, giving the people and states more freedom and more say in decisions for the country. So that's about it. That was the Bill of Rights for my talking video.